And hello, everybody. Welcome from the road, somewhere along I-95 near Fort Pierce, Florida, as near as I can tell.
I'm not quite sure where we are.
I'm not sure where we are. We just got gas, and we're going to probably make this a little shorter of a Ask Us Anything than we normally do, because we would like to get into our campsite tonight before dark. And
Well, good luck with that, fella.
yeah, it's dark now, and we are I think, about 35 miles from where we're going to spend the night at the, where are we staying?
Jonathan Dickinson State Park.
Jonathan Dickinson State Park is our goal for tonight in Florida. We're on the east coast of Florida, and we have had a busy week. What did we do today?
Today we went to the Kennedy Space Center.
Yes, and that's my new shirt, Occupy Mars, celebrating the next. Isn't that a cool shirt? I saw that somebody was wearing that at the Tampa RV show, and I wondered where he got it. And I saw where he got it today at the Kennedy Space Center. So we are going to keep this a little short because I think the Rangers, they like to check in, and we're about 40 miles from there, 35 miles, so we want to get there. Always like to say hi to everybody. Road Trip Buddy was the first one I see on the chat room tonight, and must have been there for a long time, so hello to you. And lots of others checking in. Hey, we do have an announcement that we want to make, and that is our next meetup. We just did a meetup yesterday in Ocala at the Ocala RV show and had a ball.
It was so much fun.
Turn right, then take a slight left turn onto Reynolds Road.
I'm working on it,
Brought
Siri.
that on.
That was Siri.
I guess she doesn't want you to ever stop.
She doesn't know why I stopped, and I still got to go some mileage here yet.
Take a slight left turn.
Can you
take a slight left turn? I guess I can turn her down here.
Do something.
And we'll silence Siri for a little bit tonight. But we had a meetup yesterday. That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. And thank you, everybody that came, that we met.
Yep. I hope they can hear you. Your voice is very soft tonight.
Oh, okay.
You're tired, right? We've been wandering around. You have
had a good day.
Quiet voice.
I've had a good day.
Yeah. So we did the Kennedy Space Center. Now, we do have another meetup that we want to talk about, and that is next Sunday in Naples, Florida. And there's the details. It will be it's Sunday the 5th. See, I made that.
It's the 8th.
I made that so quick that let me correct that right now, and we'll fix this one up. Maybe not. Okay.
Well, maybe don't show it.
Yeah, I'll try not to show it. It's well, I do want to show it though.
But it's the 8th.
So let's see if I can edit this on the run here. Yes, I can. There we go. March 8th. Bingo. There we go. So next Sunday, March 8th, in Naples, Florida, 3 to 5 p.m., we will be at the Bone Hook Brewing Company. The Bone Hook Brewing Company, March 8th, Naples, Florida, 3 to 5 p.m. We'll put that on once more. And we want to thank Greg Martin for organizing that. Greg Mervin. Greg he and Leslie have set that all up for us, and we met them a couple of weeks ago at the Tampa RV show, and he said, if you're in Naples, let's do a meetup, and we are. So Greg Merwin and his wife Leslie, we look forward to seeing you and whoever else shows up at the Bone Hook Brewing Company. I think it's on Imalaca Road in Naples. You can look it up online. I'll put a reference to it in the newsletter that goes out tomorrow, but that is our next meetup. Now, here's the deal. We're going to answer a couple questions, but type questions in caps so that as I scroll through, I can find it, and we'll go from there. First one from E Squared. What's the one must-have that your leisure travel van didn't come with that you could use, if any?
A larger storage area so that I could carry my chairs.
Yes, I agree with you. More storage outside, because you could carry them in if you wanted to.
Yeah,
bring
but
in
I'd have
all
to
that
wrap them
dirt.
up in a blanket.
Yeah, larger storage area. I think I would agree with you. That's the one thing it doesn't have that I wish it did have.
Everything else is perfect.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it? That's awesome. Hello from Canton, Michigan. Beautiful day there. Thank you very much for letting us know. And that's how you say, if you have a comment, type it in caps like that. If it's a question, type it in like Robert Beach did. Are there times you wish you had a small car with you to explore areas, even though the leisure travel van is not too big?
Yes. I would like a small car. You don't,
Mm-mm.
but I would.
Yeah, I don't mind driving this. We have driven this everywhere, and we have had a really busy week. I hope everybody saw the video we posted yesterday on our trip down to, I think we took it down as far as Georgia, eating our way south.
Mm-hmm.
We did, didn't we?
We did. I'm still kicking myself for not buying a whole pecan pie
Yeah, me too.
because
It's not too
that
late.
was the best. No, from there,
Yeah.
that place that we bought a single slice,
Yeah.
because that was the best pie I've ever had.
Well, they grew them right there, the pecans. You said pecan, and we learned that if you're down south, you call
I
them
decided
pecan.
I'm a Yankee.
Yeah.
I'll probably flip-flop back and forth.
Yep.
I'm
yeah.
confused. I'm not quite sure where I'm from anymore.
Yeah, but check a look at that video. I don't know either anymore. The whole country
The
is
whole
our
country
home.
is my home.
We own the Unity twin beds, and in the description it had wind assist, but no one seems to know what that means. Does your Unity have it, and how does it work? Beats me. I never heard of wind assist ever. Maybe it does. I know. I don't have any problems in the wind, so I have no idea, Joanne, what that means. Do you, Jen?
No.
No, wind assist. But it
Guess
sounds
we
cool to have.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I want it. So hopefully we have it too. And that would be great.
We should look that up.
Did you bring your electric bikes this trip? We did not, for a couple of reasons, and we'll explain some. I'm sure it'll become evident in a couple of months or so, maybe. But we're doing a lot of traveling in a lot of different places, and we just didn't have the time to bring them, really, let alone
We
to
had
use
talked
them.
about bringing them,
We did.
and then we left in such a huff and a puff and running around like crazy.
Oh my gosh, we have been on a travel schedule. What we're doing down here is we're shooting the photos for our next, not just one, but two of our 7-day adventure guides. We decided to make 3 of them out of the state of Florida. The Gulf Coast version is already done. You can find it right there. That's our link to all of our 7-day adventure books. That one's out. We're about ready to do the East Coast, and we needed to pick up some more pictures in Central Florida, which we have done now. We spent some time in the Ocala National Forest. We spent some time in a really nice RV resort just south of Ocala. We just came from the Space Coast, and those photos will be in the second guide, which will be on the Atlantic coast. Then we're doing one on the Keys, and we leave as soon as we check into our state park site tonight. Down the road, we will be leaving for the Keys in the morning, and we'll be spending the next 4 or 5 days in Key West, rounding out our photos for that. All the research is done. The writing is mostly done, but we got to put some of our photos together. So make a long story short, we didn't have time to really go out and use those e-bikes on this trip, since it's really a working trip.
And the hard part is when we have Bo, we can't leave him because last night he barked. He didn't get a trip to the dog park.
We stayed
yesterday.
Yeah.
And we stayed at Jetty Park, which
right on Port Canaveral, where all the cruise ships go out.
Yeah, and we would have liked to have explored. We had no idea.
No exploring.
That you can't take your dog out of the little RV area.
Yeah,
we could not walk around or have fun. And we tried to leave him in the van, and we were both going to go out on the dock and watch a cruise ship go by, and woof, woof, woof.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat little park. A lot of you recommended that we stay there, and we were able to snag a place last night. But the campground is surrounded by the park, and the park won't let any dogs even on leash, which I've never heard of that, really. Almost all parks will let you have a dog on a leash. This one won't. So you have to stay within this big fenced-in area in the campground, and that means we never really I got out once to take a sunset picture, I think. But I didn't like that part. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I'm sure if I didn't have a dog, I would have liked it.
If we didn't have a dog, or if they would have let the dog go with us, it would have been fun.
Yep. Joan Parks, what's your opinion of Coach House RV? Small company made in Florida. They sell direct to the customers. They don't sell through dealers or on lots anywhere. They make a really nice, expensive Class B. We have been very impressed with their models. They're in Ocala, Florida, I believe, is where they're from. So I'm looking for a couple of quick questions. And I'm just seeing lots of you guys talking to each other, which we always like to see. But here's Kate. Do you need the special cookery pans for the cooktop in your unit? If yes, what brand?
We don't, because we have propane.
We have a gas burner, yeah.
Yes. So we don't need the special pans. The first time that we had an electric cooktop, I didn't know that I needed a special pan, and I brought food, and it's not warming up.
Yeah,
So that was how I learned the hard way. You just need something. If you take a magnet, if a magnet will attach to the pans that you're going to buy, that's how you know it's going to work
we're going to work on
the electric tops.
but we don't have electric top.
We don't have the
we use
electric
gas,
top.
and
But we have had the electric top.
and we
And it
we
was
had
a
trouble.
disaster the first time
Yeah,
that
I
we
remember.
went out.
I
But then
remember.
I learned.
I remember that. It was good. Quick reminder again of our next meet and greet, and it will be next Sunday, Naples, Florida, March 9th. Are you sure it's the
No,
9th?
it's the 8th.
It's the 8th.
It's our
Now
son's,
you got it wrong too,
it's our
Chris.
son's birthday.
It's the 8th.
I know it's the 8th.
At the
It's
bone here. I'll
our
put
son
it back
Scott.
up.
It's his birthday.
It's not the 9th. It's the 8th.
Sunday the 8th.
Yeah. Sandy Blaster wants to know if the Occupy movement's back. Sandy, it is. We are going to occupy Mars. That's our new thing. Let's do it. We're going to occupy Mars. We were at the Kennedy Space Center, and as you know, SpaceX is working really close on the Mars mission with NASA. NASA is all geared up to get us on the moon and then get us to Mars. And I thought I'd wear this shirt to celebrate that. Let's go. Let's occupy Mars. We want it. Do you use wheel chocks and levelers with your road trek? I don't have a road trek.
We did have a road trek,
I never used a wheel chock, but I did use those little Lego-like blocks and it was a pain. You'd put one under, it wasn't enough, or two, and then you'd have to put one under the other. This unit that we're in, our unit now, I push a button and 4 automatic levelers come down.
He is so spoiled with that.
I am just amazing. Are you staying in Fort Myers? No, we will be not in Fort Myers at all. We're going from here to Key West. Then we're going to spend a night in the Everglades. Then we'll be in Naples, and we'll do our meet and greet next Sunday night in Naples at the Bone Hook Brewery Company. I'll put it back up. For those of you who are around, come down to Naples, come up to Naples, come over to Naples, 3 to 5 p.m. Sunday, March 8th at the Bone Hook Brewing Company. I'll put the address in the newsletter that we put out for tomorrow, and that will be pretty good. Question, and again, if you have a question, type question, then I'll be able to find it. I'm following many YouTubers, and I noticed that there's a trend. They are leaving the RV life one by one. Since you interview many RVers, maybe you know why. I do. How do I say this? Well, why don't you tell me why you think?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay. Yeah.
I think.
I'm not sure I do either, but I will.
I don't notice that many leaving.
Yeah,
there
are. Yeah,
well, it's a lot of work, and you need to have a job. I mean, like
this is our job.
We had jobs, but I mean, you had jobs for a lot of years before you retired, and now this is what we do.
There's two things. One, there's a thing called decision overload. When you're on the road full time, we're not full time, we're 3/4 of the time, but we've been doing this starting our 9th year now that March is here. And every time you're in a new area, where am I? Where's the supermarket? Where's the dog park? What's around the corner? Where do I get it?
You need a dentist. You need a doctor. Yeah. You need a vet.
Where are we going to go today? And you're always online. You're always researching. You're always trying to figure out where you are because you don't know. You've never been there before, right? I mean, you don't know where your favorite groceries are. And so that's one thing. And I think a lot of them wear out of that real quick. The other thing for a lot of YouTubers is people think that they're going to go start a YouTube channel and they're going to make money. And the sad fact is, I bet there are 300 minimum couples, doing what we're doing. But, you have to really work hard. I've been 9 years, and how many days a week do I work?
7.
7 days a week. How many hours a week do you think we put in?
You work a lot.
Do we put
Usually, as soon as you get up here on the computer.
Now, I love that. I've always worked hard. I've always, told stories. I'm a journalist by training. So we were able to do this. But it doesn't happen just because you open up a YouTube channel and there's equipment and getting someplace. So a lot of them just burn out, and they find that it's a lot harder to do this than some of us make it look, maybe. So that's my impression. Now, there are a lot of people who are making a full-time living on the road. They're doing all sorts of other
And
things.
they're doing a great job.
And yeah, we will be with a bunch of them in a couple of weeks up in Lake Gunderson, Alabama, Alabama, at the RV Entrepreneurs Summit, and it's sold out. It's sold out and capped at 350. We'll be doing a keynote main stage presentation on how we work and live on the road, and we'll be meeting many other people who share their things too. But to answer that question, it's a lot of work, and I think a lot of people have forgotten that. And so Michael, I hope that answered
And I think
your
it's
question.
different now too, because there's so many people out there that it's rather saturated. Like in the old days when there were just three news stations, NBC, CBS,
Yeah,
there was just three, and then all of a sudden there's a million places you can go for the news. People only have so much time, and I didn't really realize that until somebody said they were a boater as well as they had a motorhome, and to try to watch their boating videos and the motorhome videos, they only have so much free time.
yeah. We had we ran into some interesting people at a RV show, RV resort campground that we stayed in Summerfield, Florida, a couple of
Summerkiss?
nights ago. Summerfield, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Summerfield,
it was
Florida.
a whole group of them from the Tampa St. Petersburg area, and it was their first. They just started a new group. They were all members of the St. Petersburg Yacht Club. They were all boaters, and they were all getting out of boating and getting into RV. So a couple of them are there on their very first RV trips, and we talked to them at some length. I'll feature a couple of them in an interview we'll have next week on it. But so there are a lot of people that are getting into it and going out of it, but in terms of trying to make a living on YouTube, it's oversaturated. The other thing, they all think they're going to get a free RV, and you know,
And the Patreon, getting people just to give you money.
or on Patreon where they beg. And we've talked about Patreon. We've thought about, you can have the community tab here on YouTube, a membership tab, and for $5 a month, everybody pledges, and that has some appeal to me because then I'm not dependent quite as much on corporate sponsors as we are like in our podcast and stuff. But anyway, that's a long thing, and I'd be happy to talk to you, in more in depth on it at some other time, or you guys can keep asking questions.
And I think maybe editing a video. But a lot of people don't do much editing or music or things like that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it is. It's always fun. Dean, question: did you guys consider a rear lounge floor plan, pros and cons versus yours? Well, the rear lounge wasn't available when we got this. It was coming out, and we knew about it. This is a Murphy bed. It's a full king size Murphy bed. The rear lounge has a almost king size. Actually, it's a queen size in the rear. This is a slide that goes out about 2 feet or so.
I'd say 2 feet.
Yeah, 2 feet. There's no slide in the rear lounge, but
I like the windows in the rear lounge.
yeah, it's cool. And the side, they have big side window.
Yeah, I like those windows, and I like that you can close it off to 2 rooms.
Yep. Newbies here trying to go full time. Any help you might have? Stay in the dealer's parking lot, or have them put you up in a campground nearby for 2 to 3 nights, and live in that. Try everything out, because you will have a million questions that you need to ask again, and that you want them. They might have showed you in the walkthrough, but stay there and have them tell you everything again, because you'll need to know about. I'm really going quick through this because we do have to hit the road and get to our campsite before the ranger station closes. Has YouTube contacted you about your 100K achievement? I think it takes months. I think it's months. We're supposed to get a plaque, but I think it takes a long time. Somebody told me it takes a year.
Wow.
Which sounds about right. What's your take on RV leasing like you would a car? I don't think anybody doing a leasing program.
Well, not for like a year. If you're thinking like a car for a year, I've never heard of anything like that. you know, you can get it for a week or two. Boy, that would be so much money. Really, so much money.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know of anybody that leases one.
Yeah.
I don't think they do it. I don't think.
Must not be
you know,
money to be made, or they would be doing it.
Yep, I think so.
I think you might buy a used one and then sell it.
What about adding a cargo box on the hitch, 500-pound tongue rate rated for extra cargo?
You
We've had them.
one of those.
We've had 2 of them, and I don't. They're just a pain.
Oh, the
They're
one
so
was
heavy,
so
you can't lift them
heavy
up.
we couldn't get it
And
from point A to point B.
and we're making do with this. We have a little thing about going because I could carry those chairs she wants. I could strap them on the rear ladder at the back of this RV, but she thinks we'd look like the Beverly Hills hillbillies, right? Doesn't think that's a good look.
I could just see the chair falling off
Yeah.
driving down the road.
During your recent trip to Tequamanon Falls, did you use the water and toilet in the rig? If not, how do you handle dirty dishes? You
can take vinegar and water, a 50-50 mixture.
but not running water. You bring your own water.
You bring tap water. You can squirt off your dishes.
Well, there is no tap water.
Well, you bring your, I shouldn't say tap water. You bring a gallon of water, bring some water to wipe things down a little bit.
Let's be real clear. Your plumbing system in that cold weather has antifreeze in it. So you have no running water when you camp in the wintertime.
No.
Whatever water you're going to have, you bring it with you. So if you're going to do your dishes, plan like Jennifer says.
Paper as much as possible. You have to think ahead. You
can use the toilet. You just flush it with antifreeze. That's how you use it, and it works out pretty good. All right, I'm looking real quick for one more question that we're going to take, and then we do have to hit the road. Here we go. How long did the tires last? How long does the engine last? I mean,
I don't know. How long?
And you've mentioned that you use silver sneakers. Do you simply present your silver sneakers card? Tires, I would think of replacing these at 50,000 miles.
Now, our road treks, when did we replace
50,000
miles?
Yeah, 50,000. I'm 25,000
And then it depends on whether
now.
the tires that come with the rig or the Michelin is what you usually replace them with.
Michelin, yeah. I like Michelin tires. And I would, if I replace these, unless we get a new RV meantime, I would replace these with Michelin, I think. Now, the rest of the question,
now, the
silver sneakers, how do you use that?
Silver sneakers, if it comes with your in health insurance. So, and then you find clubs that have silver sneakers. They offer silver sneaker classes.
Hey, somebody's watching us tonight in Chennai, India, on the East Coast. We have been there. We've spent a week in Chennai a few years back, and hello and welcome. Glad to see you from India. That's a long way away. Last question: do you think some of the sprinty chassis will be replaced with the new 2020 Ford Transit? Scott, I do. I think the 2020 Ford Transit chassis upgrade is as big as the 2019 Sprinter chassis upgrade was. We talk to different manufacturers and dealers all the time, and they're always telling us about the hassle of getting these chassis. They really are. Blame Amazon. Amazon is snapping up every Sprinter chassis, every Ford Transit chassis, every Dodge ProMaster chassis, which are the 3 most popular chassis for Class B and Class C vans. So it's hard for the manufacturers, to compete with such a conglomerate, a huge company like Amazon. And I know that the chassis manufacturers are even now pressuring the dealers and the OEMs, the manufacturers, to make their 2021 orders even before they've gotten their 2020 chassis delivered. So this chassis situation is a major hassle and will be for at least another year now for the RVers, because Amazon's ordering so many more. Now, in terms of the 2020 Ford Transit, I think it's going to become a close second to the Sprinter within just a couple of years. The Ford Transit's really getting a lot of traction, especially the 2020 version, which will be all-wheel drive as well. You can pick a 2-wheel or all-wheel, gas or diesel. Ford's going to do a pretty good job, don't you think? Okay, listen, I would love to stay on our normal time, but we're going to have to cut out because we got 35, 40 miles to go. It's dark. I hate pulling into a campsite at dark. and they told me the ranger station would be there. The ranger guy would be there a little while, so
So we got to get there.
we're gonna
Well, the
get them.
Rangers there.
So we are. One last shout out for those of you in Florida. We have a meetup planned now for next Sunday, March 8th, 3 to 5 p.m. We will be at the Bone Hook Brewing Company, a little micro brew in Naples on March 8th, next Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. Come say hi. We would love to see you guys. It's fun getting all of these comments. I'll go really quick through here and make sure. Look at how many of you. I wish we could answer them all, but I got to get a place to stay for the night. It's been a long day. So we're off to the Keys tomorrow. Check the newsletter tomorrow. We'll have a lot of information in the newsletter. Interesting interview of the week coming up with some RVers we met in Ocala. That'll be on the podcast on Wednesday. And check out the video we posted yesterday here on our trip south. We had a great time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you down the road.
Happy trails.